Hey, how's everyone doing today? It's a wonderful Monday, the 25th of November. We are slightly more than 1 month away from 2025, and a lot is going on, or has been happening, frankly. Last week is no exception on the financial markets. And as we can see, for example, our main area of focus has recently been the crypto market and cryptocurrency, because basically last week was also a green week for Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies. For some of them, it was a huge week. For others, was a relatively small week. But it is very difficult to find one cryptocurrency that has not shown a green week since the 5th of November. So past 3 weeks have been pretty cool and pretty green. So of course this gains a lot of attention from traders all over the world, and many traders trade cryptocurrencies. Our traders are no exception, and as I said last week and the week before and the week before previous one, so the best strategy would probably have been a strategy of buy and hold. So this strategy, you cannot really use it, you cannot really do it like for a long, like always, because sometimes the market is just not going anywhere, and you can kind of wait for a long time until something happens on the market, and the market finally gets this impulse for a new rise, for a new bull run. Yeah, the best word to describe it is called a bull run. But basically, yeah, this is one of those rare gems, rare opportunities that doesn't happen every time, doesn't happen every month or even every half a year. It kind of happens maybe a few times, like in a few years, kind of like that. But as I said, as I described, as I shared my analysis and my experience, that for example, last week, Kasama was still trading kind of around 22. Now it's trading twice its price last Monday of that of last Monday, and he was jumping even higher than that. So this proves the fact that I shared with you last week, and there is a very basic strategy. In fact, to be honest, like there is no in such cases there is no rocket science. It's one of those things, one of those events that everyone has been waiting for, and as we can see on all of these cryptocurrencies, it's a bull run, and we just needed some uh, positive fundamental story. And as we can see, yeah, so those cryptocurrencies that last week, 2 weeks ago, didn't really jump up so much. Now last week there was a breakthrough on many of them. So Polkadot is no exception. Well, maybe one of the kind of slow ones is Ethereum, even though it also went up. So far it has risen by 50% from its November lows, where while it was trading around 2,400, it's already trading at 3,500. So this is plus 40 to 45%, depending which date you compare it to. And other cryptocurrencies like EOS. So 3 green weeks, and we are trading 100% higher than we were trading 3 weeks ago. Cardano, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So this is, I mean, like, of course, it is almost impossible to guess which cryptocurrencies would be winners in such a case, in such a situation. Which of them are gonna gain, 300%, 500%. But that is not really required. What you need to do is you need to kind of buy a basket of cryptocurrencies. Like you purchase maybe 10 various assets, and then one of them goes up by 20%, and then the other one goes up by 200%. Now some of my best winners so far have been Ripple, which finally started moving. I kind of thought that it was never gonna happen, but now finally it's happening. And 1, 2, 3. So there was this huge first week, and then there was another big week last week, and the previous week. It's the current one. So we are also rising by a few percent today. And I'm holding this position on TON. So TON coin, I'm kind of, my outlook here is very, very positive. Even though we don't see the full chart here, we see just a fraction of it, starting with late August when it was added to our platform. But here, basically, we are at the so-called flag formation for for a few days, for a few weeks. It was accumulating around $5, slightly above this price, in this range between 5.2 and 5.7. And today we are already trading at 6.17. And the big day was Saturday. So Sunday was red again, and today we are drawing this uncertainty, another uncertainty pattern, which is called the inner doji. So we have this big doji, and then we also have this kind of like internal inner doji. And well, again, I still remain positive because probably it's very likely that we might see a breakout, and even on TON coin, which is one of those like slow movers, we might see a very nice rise. So even hamster combat jumped. Now it's accumulating in this very narrow range of 0.0003 cents, 0.04 cents to be exact. And I think, in my opinion, it has a lot of potential. Yeah, it can jump towards its initial offering price, so 0.09, something like this. I mean, like, this is an obvious resistance level, so we can see that happening quite soon. What else? Cryptocurrencies, like, let's examine all of them. So yeah, Moonbeam is the same story. Solana also is up 50%, maybe even more. It's like almost it's not that 50%, it's up 60%. So most cryptocurrency, I mean, like, it's very difficult to find, like, maybe TON coin, Litecoin is, probably these are some of the kind of slow moving ones, but maybe that is the strategy. So those cryptocurrencies that aren't moving today, they might be on the move tomorrow, the next week, etc. Now, a very strategic, a very obvious level, a very obvious obstacle for Bitcoin is, of course, $100,000 mark. So we jumped towards 99.5, but obviously it needs some fuel, and after 3 green weeks, so usually we need some healthy correction. So I call it healthy correction because obviously everyone understands that it is impossible for any asset to kind of go up in price all the time without any pullbacks and major setbacks. Now, there is a very interesting fundamental fact that there is this legislation act in the U.S. government that is currently being seriously discussed, and it basically says that if finally accepted, the government of the United States might create a strategic reserve of bitcoins with the goal of purchasing 1 million bitcoins over the next 5 years and holding them for at least 20 years. So this seems to be like a very huge deal. It's an enormous deal. When the government of the pretty much the top economy in the world, which is the United States, is, so when they confirm or announce such plans, and finally, if this, because at first it's rumors, and then of course there is a high probability, given the fact that Trump is a strong supporter of cryptocurrencies, then of course we might see a jump that this law is finally this legislation act is finally accepted, and we might see a rise towards, well, on this fundamental news. I mean, I can easily see Bitcoin jumping towards 300,000, 500,000. Wow, that is of course a huge number, but that will only create a market capitalization of $4.5 trillion, which is, I mean, like, given today's realities with so much money that has recently been printed in the past few years, it doesn't seem like a very unrealistic thing, to be honest. Because so yeah, I would not be surprised if that's the case in the next few months. And well, Trump's inauguration is due on, if I'm not mistaken, January 25th, 2025, or maybe it's January 20th. So we are just 2 months away from that significant event. And if nothing happens, like no black swan arrives, we might see a quick another bull run following that event. But the question is, what will happen with crypto markets in in December, because we still have December ahead of us. Like, it's not just to the moon just yet. So we need to figure out what's going to happen in December. So in December we might see a correction, the so-called healthy correction, as I named it. And of course, without this correction, almost never you see like prices rise. Like, basically, yeah, there has to be some healthy correction. Without such correction, almost never you are gonna see this like continuation of trend. Alrighty. And also, a very interesting fact is that this company called MicroStrategy has been purchasing Bitcoins like there is no tomorrow. And I'm not sure if we have this, we don't have this stock available on our trading platform, but basically this company is, or on Thursday was the most actively traded company, public company in the United States, which is quite crazy, to be honest, because this company, what they did is basically they were like buying Bitcoins, then they were issuing bonds, and once those bonds got issued and got sold on the market, they would use this money and buy more Bitcoin. So it seems like a little bit like a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid, like a financial pyramid. But I mean, it seems that they are very strong believers in this whole concept of Bitcoin and decentralized finance and ledgers and so on, blockchain, etc. All right, so it's not just crypto market that is moving. Also, something that I wanna talk about today is USD JPY. Also, obviously, is a let's use it in the forex mode, since we are like watching it in the forex mode. So USD JPY today, USD is dropping against the yen, and we are, all right, let me quickly reload my trading platform just to make sure that there is no lag and there is no ping. So we can see that we are, for the past few weeks, we have been trading, for the past week we have been trading in this pretty narrow range, 155 and 153. So any breakout or breakdown from this channel will likely result in a very strong move. So it can be a move upwards and it can also be a move downwards. So we are gonna see probably this week. And there is a very interesting trading idea which I spoke about last week. So it's the Euro USD, the Euro against the United States dollar. So we saw this double top formation of 1.12, and since then the price dropped. The price has dropped by almost 7% or 6%, 7%, yeah, and it renewed its is it 2-year low? Yeah, close to 2-year low. Now, of course, it is oversold, and that is why it is rebounding a little bit. it is slightly rebounding, but the overall trend, I think, is very likely to continue because, as I said, fundamentally speaking, so I try to combine fundamental factors with technical analysis. So according to technical analysis, according to both technical analysis and fundamental analysis, we are gonna see we're going to see a parity between the United States dollar and the euro. Well, probably before January. I'm I'm almost 100% sure, like 90% sure, that this downtrend is very likely to continue. And given the fact that natural gas prices in Europe are rising or have been rising, and more problems. So this creates more and more, let me see, natural gas prices. So this doesn't help the European economy, and we can see that from starting with August 1st, the price of natural gas has almost doubled. And of course, you also have to take into consideration the price of transportation, logistics costs associated with transporting gas from the natural gas from the United States to Europe mainland. And we are going to see a very strong pressure on the German economy first and foremost, which is the most industry-oriented economy in the European Union. And apart from Germany, there are many other countries. Well, pretty much almost all of Europe is dependent on energy resources, except maybe some Scandinavian countries like Norway, who is the main producer of natural gas in Europe now. And yeah, I mean, I don't really see any bright future, at least in the coming months and in the coming year for the European economy. We might still see a quick rise, of course, like a rebound, but it might be the so-called dead cat bounce. So for those of you who are familiar with trading lingo, trading slang, you might sometimes have heard this expression "dead cat bounce" when some asset is dropping in price, and then it makes this like short-lived rebound, and then it continues its free fall, and that is pretty much what happened. What happens with Euro USD? This pattern can be seen on hamster, for example. This exactly looks like a dead cat bounce, but at the same time, the magnitude of this jump is pretty strong, I would say, because we jumped from almost 300% in a few days, in 2 days, namely, and now we are trading here. It is the so-called accumulation phase. So we might see another leap from hamster combat, for example. So actually, during the so-called bull period or bull run or pretty much bullish market, one of the strongest patterns, of course, is the so-called flag formation. When we see a breakout, then price starts trading in a range for a few days, and then it continues its rise. And if you look at at almost any cryptocurrency, you are very likely to see this flag formation, like on the moonbeam, when we saw this first wave, then correction, then move number 2, another correction. So this resembles the previous pattern that I showed to you, the hamster combat flag, and then price jumps another 50%, maybe even more, jumping maybe 60%. So volatility now is huge on the crypto market, but of course we need to see more positive news, because probably Trump's election, so Trump's win in the elections on the 5th of November in the United States has already been discounted in the price of most cryptocurrencies. And well, the question is, what is going to happen next? Are we going to see another rise? So we need more fuel. So first of all, we need some correction, and after that, hopefully it's not too deep. So this correction, this market correction should not be too deep, because if it's too deep, then it is, of course, it is always too hard to push the price upwards. But at the same time, if some promising projects like, I don't know, like Solana, for example, of course, which is probably the most efficient, I would say, you can watch some videos online on YouTube. There is tons of information about Solana. So Solana seems to be the best project, the best ledger so far. So without without any exaggeration, this is the best project, the best ledger out there currently, with the highest capacity, with the highest number of transactions per minute, per second. By all categories, it's winning. All right. So, do you guys have any questions? I wonder. I still haven't received any questions. So let's move on to gold. Obviously, gold is now drawing our beloved head and shoulders pattern. So we can obviously see the left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder, right? So we might see a pretty nice drop towards 2,500, where of course there will be another round of purchasing, another opportunity. So right now I would really consider selling or short selling gold, because really the stop loss can be placed in a relatively short area, and that would grant you a very strong short stop loss to take profit ratio. So you can easily get maybe 10-to-1 ratio, even if you place open a trade with a $15 stop loss, and then it can easily drop. As I said, the price can easily drop $150 towards 2,500, which is now the obvious and the natural and the psychological level of support. So I really think that this is a very strong trading idea right now. Alrighty, so what else did we not speak about? So we didn't speak about, I think, Brent, which is on the rise, but with Brent, even though it's a very slow moving asset, in the past few days, in the past few weeks, has been nonetheless, as you can see, this asset follows all the laws of technical analysis, and from 71 it always jumps towards 75 and upwards. It's almost a loss proof asset which you can use in your trades super easily. It just every time it jumps to 70, it jumps upwards. Before it jumped to, well, as I said, the most common strategy here is to watch when it approaches round numbers, so 70, 80, maybe 75, and to kind of play the so-called ping pong. So Brent ping pong, you are going to see how technically perfect this asset is. So it's just really one of the best trading assets, I think. It doesn't really give you a huge potential like cryptocurrencies, for example, but for more conservative traders, that could be a very nice reply, a very nice trading idea, because, well, as I said, it's almost almost guaranteed. You cannot guarantee everything in the world, especially on the financial markets, but sometimes the likelihood exceeds 95%. So that's what happened with cryptocurrencies, and that is what happened or has been happening has happened to Brent in the past few months. It's just perfect for those who know how to trade and how to find psychological assets around psychological levels of support or areas of support, because it's very rarely it is a level of support, an exact number. More or less, it's a an area of support. So $1 plus $1 or $2 in that regard. Alrighty, so I think we are moving towards the end of our stream today. Haven't received any questions, but I hope that you enjoyed my market analysis, and I will be very happy to see you all next Monday. So feel free to join our trading sessions. Feel free to contact customer support and request a new trading consultation from our market specialists, market wizards. And good luck with your trades. Let deposits grow. That is really the best wish you can have, especially considering the nearing of the end of 2024. All right, my dear traders, I will see you soon. I will see you next Monday. Have a wonderful trading week, and let's see what market shows us this week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.